we live?
We are on. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. May I have a motion to exit executive session?
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll call, please.
On a motion to exit executive session, Mrs. Middlestetter,
Yes.
Mr. Harding,
Yes.
and Mr. Havens.
Yes.
Okay. We have reviewed and discussed the individuals eligible for reappointment. And now we're ready to discuss any recommendations.
Okay. As far as the planning board commission applications, we have 3 new applications. I would like to recommend that we bring all 3 new applicants in for interviews, and I'd ask Rob if he could help us set up times and dates, whatever, for
Sure.
them to set up.
Okay.
I'll second that.
On a motion to bring all 3 applicants in for interviews to be scheduled later, Mrs. Middlestetter,
Yes.
Mr. Havens,
Yes.
and then Mr. Harding.
Yes.
And as well, the individuals who are eligible for reappointment. Do we have a recommendation there for the board, the planning, for all the boards?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to move that we request the following members to be reappointed. Jenny Bennett, Meredith Brenniger, Philip Ogrod, Jacqueline Greenwood, Jeff Owens, Dwight Bartlett, and Shane Russell.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Is there any discussion?
Can there be public discussion on a motion? What's the point of making a public discussion at the end of a meeting when all the action's been taking place?
The action will take place at the council meeting.
Are you taking action tonight? I mean, I have a great deal of respect for the job you're doing. I truly do. But I don't understand that no public discussion stuff. And I think at some point, in Governor's past, things kind of went off the rails. I don't mean recent past, but I don't understand. What's the point of having open meetings if there's no public discussion?
We can't just, first of all, you have to be up here for public discussion. For appointments of boards, there is no public discussion. It's viewing, the public meeting is for viewing so people can hear the deliberations that are taking place. But for appointments, there is no public discussion.
So,
And we have a motion on the floor and
And
seconded.
we have a motion on the floor and a second, so we have to take a vote.
but
On the motion for the appointments as listed, Mr. Havens,
Yes.
Mr. Harding,
Yes.
and Mrs. Middlestetter.
Yes.
Now, are you going to have public discussion during this meeting? Will I be able to get up and make a public comment?
No.
No, not tonight.
Not tonight. Then why am I here?
To see what we're doing.
I don't want to see what you're doing. I already know what you're doing. I know ahead. I'm not trying to be rude, but I sort of know ahead what the process is and how it works.
Well,
But-
obviously,
But I didn't know they would not, I'm not trying to give you a hard time anyway, but I don't get the no public, I mean, you shouldn't be afraid of people getting up and talking. And that's when I see boards do that, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking to John. When they do that, it's as if they're afraid of people talking and interacting, and it's not adversarial process, it's one of, I would think, cooperation. It's a community board.
public discussion on appointments. First of all, public discussion is not required at public meetings. We are required to be open for viewing and listening. For appointments involving, that's like hiring someone.
I know exactly what it is, but you have no.
The public discussion is not open for that process.
Are you reading that off of something, or you just giving it extemporaneously?
No, that's what we were trying to figure out is the public discussion available or allowed to be, and it's not on appointments.
It is if you want it to be, and you don't know what's gonna be said until,
Precisely, but there will be no public discussion tonight.
no public discussion about the process you use, or how you come up, or anything.
Not about the people.
I didn't say it was gonna be about the people, but you're saying no public discussion, period, end of sentence. I mean, are we miscommunicating maybe? I have no idea who the people are. I mean, I heard your list and stuff, but I don't know. who
They,
the-
the people that were listed are current members of the boards. They are eligible for reappointment.
Okay, but you have no public discussion on anything? On your appointment process, or who you select, or how you select the process?
Not on who we select, no.
Why
I
not?
could, Mrs. Chair, I could very quickly brief over the process that was underwent tonight.
Would you please? Thank
Certainly.
you.
The process was that the current board members that were eligible for reappointment were discussed, and then there was just a motion to reappoint those. So the process for selecting them had already been done because they're currently serving. The process regarding, that was clearly stated through the motion for the appointment of the vacancies in planning board, there are applicants. And the discussion of the process was that they want to schedule interviews for those 3 applicants. Those interviews will be conducted, and then a recommendation will be made, and then appointments. So as far as discussion of the process, it was very clear through the subject of the motions.
And the process is,
I heard all that earlier, but there, part of the concern is, let's say you have an opening on a XYZ board. And shouldn't you make that open to anybody in the community that's interested in serving on that?
it
board?
was. These are people who applied from the
Why don't you
posting.
want the discussion on that? Because we have a problem in terms of people aren't aware, and you have problems in terms of attracting people, and we have a lot of good quality people in the community that truly would like to serve and help, but they don't know. So someplace, there's a gap between what you know and what the world knows. I mean, seriously.
Our charter defines the process. These positions were advertised and opened for applications.
I was chairman of the Charter Commission one year. I think everybody in Belbrook's been chairman of that Charter Commission.
Probably.
for a year. But I understand the charter.
So
I
I
like
don't
the charter,
get-
but the question is, this isn't a charter question. The question is, why wouldn't you want it open? Ernie, you're a guy, you're big on public participation. You really are. Why wouldn't you want it open to anybody? And why wouldn't you want anybody to know about it? And why wouldn't you promote it? Because right now,
What are you saying open to public participation?
well, I don't understand why you don't want public participation in your meeting. I don't, that's not America. That really isn't. I don't get it.
A public participation in what part of this process are you asking about?
I think people ought to be allowed to make a comment if they want to make a comment.
Make a comment.
Sorry if I try to help with this a little bit.
Sure.
So, in this particular topic, we feel that we were elected to make this decision, and we're making this decision in that fashion. And that if people don't like the decisions that we're making as elected officials, then they shouldn't reelect us.
I disagree with that. That you were elected to make decisions, no doubt.
If we
The
put it up to
policy-
everybody, if we
But
make
you-
every decision that we make a public consideration and comment and discussion, we're not gonna get anywhere, anytime, and in a reasonable amount of time.
We're a city manager form of government, which you perfectly understand.
I do understand it.
So-
But I also know that you don't have people showing up to your meetings. So it's not as if they're large enough to have a discussion. I know discussion time's limited. I know that each one of you ran and you said, I will listen to the people. I will listen. When Denny Bennett came here, your first meeting, someone said, I don't know who said it, and it was kind of funny because Denny's like, he's just like high energy all the time.
Yes.
I don't know how he is. He's an amazing guy. And someone said, you got any advice? And the first word, it was like picture perfect. He said, listen. Everybody said, yeah. But then they get in and the public discussion is shut down. I do know the law, and it's not a good law. But just because it's the law doesn't mean it's right. And these, you make a decision on the police budget, you make a decision on the fire department, you make a decision on roads and streets and whatnot. And if you follow that, then there's no public discussion of anything. You just make the decisions for 4 years.
That's the city manager council form of government.
City
You can-
manager, council form government,
you
no
can-
public discussion, it's either that or strong mayor. And if you're Northern Ohio, it's usually strong mayor, Southern Ohio, city manager.
You can call any one of us anytime and give your 2 cents worth or your dollar's worth.
You know what? A lot of you don't have your phone numbers on the city website. You have the City of Bellbrook phone number on the city website. So I don't know your phone number, I don't know Ernie's.
That was changed by the previous administrator. That will change again.
But that's a different topic, but I disagree, but you
Well,
want to talk.
we're in this, I mean, we're in the city directory, so the white pages. You can look it up on
People get phone calls.
Google white pages.
Did that?
Well, I think we should move on at this
Yes,
stage. We definitely appreciate your
Yes,
Public
thoughts,
discussion?
but we definitely should move
You
forward.
don't want,
Yes.
look, I'm gonna leave you in a second. By not having public discussion, you become insular. You don't know it, but you do. Because you don't know what's gonna be said or how it's gonna be said. And it shows that you're afraid of what people are gonna say, and you never wanna be afraid. You wanna bring people in, you wanna be inclusive. You want to create a friction. You want the Denny Bennett down here jumping up and down out of his skin and doing this stuff because he says good stuff up here. He really does. And he'd make an excellent council member if he were back. But that's what, you want that. You know? You want the executive session, that's fine. I truly appreciate the job you're doing, deeply. I don't want to do it, I appreciate it so much. But you want an executive session, I listened to your discussion, I listened to the motion. The discussion was to discuss process. It wasn't to discuss personality. I'm sure you did both. But I just,
the process was done here in a public meeting. The process was decided here in the public meeting. That was the first.
but you know, you just had public discussion and said, yeah, this conversation been over a long time ago. It would have been. I don't hate any of you. I think you're all good people. I think you truly have your and but well, I'm gonna go and leave you alone. There's no public discussion. I'm gonna leave you alone on that apple pie.
Not too late. Council meeting, this will be presented at the council meeting.
Council's gonna accept the recommendation. It's moot.
The council votes on it then.
I know how that works.
Okay, then you can make your comments then.
But decisions is being made.
No.
No.
No,
Nothing
no
has been
decision.
voted on or
Come
approved.
You're gonna make a decision. You make a recommendation, the points are like, it's a done deal. You know it, and I know. Don't you have to revote, you just gotta drag one more over. You got your fourth vote. And everybody's gonna, and everyone's always nice to go with it. But you feel, I disagree with a lot of what you all say about process. It's always getting done. I've been told things that are sorry that aren't in the show. I've been told all kinds of things. So I'm not interested in making battle with them. But it's just always.
Me doing that.
Got Pravda on the line. They don't want these ideas out there. I'll see you there.
Thanks, David.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
You
David.
too. Good public discussion.
That was good.
Well, you should welcome. Welcome.
Go,
We have to have a motion.
See you Monday.
Maybe, I don't know.
Sure.
Do we have to have a motion to end the meeting?
No, but did you want to come up with a date?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you
okay,
can-
so we opened the meeting, we don't,
We want a date.
Yeah, you can just, yeah, with no further business, you can close the meeting.
Okay, with no further business, I declare this meeting closed.
Adjourned.
Boom, adjourned.
Not yet.
I'm glad he wasn't in a bad mood tonight.
We're not on.